Okay, camera cut out because I ran out of storage space, so I've deleted some rubbish. But hopefully you can hear 9,000 litres an hour. There's a little bit of splashing, but there's hardly anything. If you really wanted to quieten down, that's with some of the cover glass open as well. If you really wanted to quieten it down even more, all you've got to do is just angle them a little bit lower. Okay, going back to the controls on this, gyres and the pump both have feed modes. So if I decide to push the button for feeding something like bloodworm, then instead of it firing all the water around at a reasonable rate, it just cuts all flow, so the bloodworm can just sit on the bottom, gives the fish a chance to get in there. Pump, if you can see that, yeah, it's a Reef Pump 12,000, made by TMC. Gyres are max spec gyres. What else do you need to know? Oh yeah, heating. That's an Inkbird heating controller. Bottom figure is the target temperature. Top figure is the actual temperature. That controls the power going to the heaters. So even if a heater jams on, unless the controller turns it on, then there isn't going to be any problem. It just won't fire up. And the probe, that little black wire in the middle of the screen, sits down in amongst all those bio balls, and I just pull it out once a week and just give it a clean. The socks I clean, I say every other day. There's 3 in there. I got 3 spare ones. Oh yeah, on the back of the doors you can easily fit spice racks for water test kits or stuff. What are you looking at there? Turkey baster. Fill it up with water, then you can get into any little dead spots or sort of nooks and crannies on the bogwood and just squirt the debris out. Toothbrushes, good for getting into areas like moss. If the moss had anything on it, you can gently give it a blast with the turkey baster, but then you can just give them a little toothbrush to keep them clean. Oh, the glass, the front, is OptiClear. So it is pure clear glass, whereas the sides and the back have got a slight green tinge to it. Being that that's not a small piece of glass, I'm incredibly paranoid about scratching it with like an algae magnet or something like that. So there we go. Got one of those little sponge thing on the end. Takes me about 2-3 minutes to clean the whole front. Again, set of hooks on the next one with the aquascaping scissors and whatnot. Over here, going back to here. Up there is an auto doser. Pipes come down to macronutrients and micronutrients for the plants. Every day the pump will fire up and it will either take macronutrients, say on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday, or it'll take the micronutrients on a Tuesday, Thursday or Saturday, and it will then drop 250 litres of them into that area there. Takes them up through the lines and it will then drop the lines down in there and away it goes. At the moment, because I'm setting it up and I don't trust it yet, I've got a pint glass there. So when I come down in the morning, I just empty the pint glass into the tank. CO2, that's a CO2 Arts rig. So I can adjust the light. Nope. So food grade CO2 bottle, 25 kilo, I think. Yeah, 25 kilo. That dial there, yeah, that dial there gives you the output pressure from the bottle. That one there tells you how much pressure you're putting in to these two. Now these two, let me turn the LEDs off a minute and see if we can get a better view. Okay, these two are needle valves. This one goes to the left of the tank, this one goes to the right. Currently, it goes on a timer here. So an hour before the lights come on, this opens up the solenoid, allows the gas to come through, then comes up here through the CO2 lines, and there's a CO2 diffuser there at the bottom left of the tank underneath that gyre, and there's another one, if we go over there, just underneath that gyre. And they're not running at the moment because we're within an hour of lights going off. So they start up an hour before the lights, they go off an hour before the lights are due to go off. CO2 then gets injected into the water, it comes up underneath the gyre, and the gyre will then fire it back down again at about 45 degrees, giving it maximum exposure to the tank. And over there is the CO2 indicator. What else is in there? I think that's probably about it. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully that gives you some ideas. Oh, plants. The lights. Let's step back. That's 4 Fluval 3.0 plant lights. The 46 watt ones. It'll give you enough power at the bottom, so 30 inches down, that you can grow low light and some medium light plants. I had to go to Fluval for the actual power readings because they just don't display them and no one ever gives out power readings for these things. It's on the thread on UK APS if you're interested. Cleanup crew. Got a bunch of cherry shrimps in there. We've got some Amano shrimp. We've got some Ottos. Oh, they're on the Ripashi at the moment. There they are. We've got some rabbit snails. There's one digging himself down there. But generally speaking, we've kept it small. I wanted to give the experience of looking at the tank and people going, oh yeah, look at that. And then sort of finding new things. Was going to have a hood on it, went away from a hood. Hood's over there. A, because ND Aquatics cocked up the colour of it. It's meant to be that dark colour right in the middle, and that's the colour it arrived. Kind of doesn't match, but for access into the top of the tank, the hood just wouldn't work for me. I'm in there at least once a day, whether cleaning something out or putting food in for them. So access panels, they slide left and right. You've then got a brace. They slide left and right. You've then got a brace, and then they slide left and right. The Fluval lights you can program. If you Google them, it'll give you a bit of info. But basically, you can set a sunrise and a sunset. So mine come on at 5 o'clock every day, and then for the next hour they gently ramp up in power until 6 o'clock it's full power, and then 10 o'clock they then start going down, and then by 10:30 it's lights out. So sort of an hour of sunrise, full power for 4 or 5 hours at the moment, and then down. Once the plants are fully settled in and I've got a decent hold on the tank, then we'll start making the light go longer and longer. Hope that gives you a bit of an idea.